In this lecture, we will learn how to create base views, projected views, section views, and detailed views in our 2D technical drawings. So to demonstrate this, I'm going to work with the assembly that we made in the 3D modeling section. So if you would like to do the same, you're more than welcome to do so, or you can use your own part if you'd like. So let's take this assembly and make a 2D drawing out of it. Let's come up to our Environments tab, click on the drop down, come down to Drawing, and we're going to select Drawing from Design. So from this design environment here, left click once. And then in our toolbox, let's definitely go for a manual drawing. In terms of reference, I don't want to select the full assembly in this case. I want to give an example here where we exclude the fasteners. So let's go for Select, and I'm just going to use the browser and select the base plate, and here for the bracket, second bracket, the rotary wheel, and also the pin as well. So in this case, I haven't got the fasteners selected, and if we hit the drop down next to them, you'll see they're unselected there. We can also see in the preview there. In terms of drawing, we're going to create a new, so we don't currently have a drawing specific for this assembly, so we're starting from scratch. And in terms of the template, let's also go from scratch as well, but feel free to use any existing title blocks that you've made from the previous lecture. Let's stick with from scratch. For standard, I go for ISO, mil, A3 sheet size, and landscape. Let's click OK. And then as soon as we come into the drawing environment, you'll have a toolbox pop up and we'll have a preview of the base view. So we can control that by this toolbox here. So the orientation of the base view now is the front view, which is very typical, but you can change these around if you need. So you can look at different sides, top and bottom, etc. I'm going to stay with front for now. In terms of style, we've got the option for visible edges only. We can show hidden edges. We can do shaded and then shaded with hidden. But for the front view, it's very typical to go with visible edges, unless you're doing something detailed where you need to show hidden edges as well. But for this, let's stick with visible edges. For the scale, so judging by the preview, it's very small here. Let's bump that scale up. Let's go for 1.5. So 1 to 1.5 scale. I'm okay with that. I'm going to be doing quite a few views, so I will need the space around this to work with. In terms of edge visibility, I'm going to demonstrate this by actually dropping this view just over here. So I'm going to left click once, then I'm going to select OK. And then from here, let's zoom in a bit and double click on this view. And then here we've got the options to make any adjustments. And we can do that for any views when we're in the 2D drawing environment. So double left click, and then under the tangent edges, I want to demonstrate the full length. So right now we've got tangent edges off. If I turn them onto full length, we can then see any of these tangential edges. So if you recall, as per the model, this is where a flat face will be joining a fillet like so, and that's represented by this line here. And also we've got the fillet down here. So showing this line here, we can turn them off. I recommend for this part that we turn them on full length, as it better communicates about this part and the different faces. And for interference edges and thread edges, these are not applicable for our model, so we can leave them turned off for now. And then we've got the automatic center marks and center lines. So there are no holes showing in this face here, so no need to turn any of these on. In terms of center lines, we could turn on the round extrudes, and then we'll see that the revolve parts, so in this case the pin and the pulley wheel, will have a center line running through them. Let's click close there, double click the middle mouse button, and there we have our base view. And we can move this around if we like. If we hover over the view, hold down the left mouse button, we can position that where we want. For me, I'm going to position that here. I'm also going to turn off the title block for this lecture. I need the space to work with, so turn that off. Close the sheet settings. Everything there is looking good. Okay, so we've got our base view in place. And now let's go ahead and add some projected views and get some more detail in this drawing. So if we come up to the top left, we have our creation tools. I'm going to select for me, it's the second one in, the second one down. So shortcut P on the keyboard. That's the projected view. So if we select that, then we need to select our parent view, which in this case is the base view. So if we pull the mouse out to the right-hand side, we'll have a right view, a nice ISO view there, top view, left view, and bottom view. Let's go with a side view. Let's also go with an ISO view. And let's go for a top view. I think that will be enough views to detail this assembly. Then once we're finished, we can select the green tick here or right-click and select OK. Let's move this ISO view then. Let's move that over to the corner here. And let's change the visual appearance. So let's double left click on this. And under the style, we're going to click shaded. And in terms of the scale, I might bump this up a bit. So it's following the parent file 1 to 1.5. Let's bump this up to, let's go 1 for 1. Close. We get a nice ISO view there. I like to do the ISO views in a shaded style. I feel that it better communicates about the part, makes it more easier to understand. Okay, and likewise we can move the side view, but we'll see here that we cannot move it up and down, and it is locked to the parent view, so identifying that it is from the right. And likewise with the top as well, we cannot move it side to side, only up and down. Let's come on to the top view, and you see we've got our extrusion holes here. Let's double left click on this, and under these center marks, these are defined as round cuts. So under center marks, let's select round cuts, and we'll see how the center marks there. That's good. Let's also do the same for the side view. Put on the round cuts, press close, looking nice. So that's how we do projected views, nice and easy. And next we're going to take a look at a section view. So a section view is where a part is essentially cut in half, and then we look at it from the cut. So I'm going to demonstrate this on the base view. So first of all, we need to select our parent view, left click once, and identify the start and finish of our cut. So I'm going to zoom in, and I'm going to try and snap to this line here and draw that up slightly. Click once there, bring that down, make sure we're going vertical, and then click again, click the tick. And here we have our section view, which I'm going to put to the side here. I'm going to leave all of the parameters as default. I'm happy with that. Press OK. I'm going to move this up slightly. So here is our section view, and that's labeled AA. And as we see by the cut line, we've got AA there, and the direction of the arrows indicate that we're looking at this view from this direction. So we're looking towards the right, if that makes sense. I'm going to drop this down to the other side. We can move that around, and it also indicates the style as well. We can modify this if we like, so we can double click and adjust accordingly. And perhaps also we want to have some center marks on the holes here. Okay, that's looking good. And wherever the cross section will intersect a solid body, we'll have this nice hatching appear there. So we know this hatching is coming from the pulley wheel, and this hatching here is coming from this material here. Okay, so we've done the base view, we've done our projected views, and we've also done a section view. Next, let's take a look at a detailed view. So this is located up here. So the fourth one in, all creation tools, it is this one here. So select that. The detailed view is literally just an exploded view of a particular area where we might want to indicate more detail. So for this assembly, I wouldn't say it's really necessary, but if we zoom in on the base view, we'll select that as the parent view. Then we need to identify the center of our detail view. So if I choose this point here and expand out that circle, let's say we go for this, left click once again, I'm happy with that. We can then see our detail view, which I'm going to drop down here. I want that scale to bump up a bit. Let's go for 1 to 0.5. Let's put that in here, press OK. You can see that's labeled or identified as section B with the according scale there. And just here, we might be wanting to communicate about the assembly in terms of the distances between the bodies, let's say the pulley wheel and the pin, and how that mounts with the bracket as well. One thing to note in this lecture is that your views might look slightly different to mine. And that will be because they're being projected in a different angle. And it's something that I'll cover in the next lecture, where we'll take a look at first and third angle projection. So I look forward to seeing you there.